I said that joke here before when I came, and I finally was able to put it on stage for the special because, there's this big divide between Latinx people, Latinos, Latina, and Black American people, as if, we tell the lies. There's a lot of white supremacy within our community. And I have family members who felt like me having a baby from a black dude was taking the race back. And so they were religious. They were like my mom don't believe in nothing, and she got the best soul on the planet. And then the most religious people in my family are the worst. And so I told the truth. I was like they were Christian, and they were anti-abortion until I got pregnant from a black dude, and then they became pro-abortion in the name of Jesus. They were like, he'll forgive you. And I was like,
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind?
to me, I took that with me.
I know we talk about it. I think we talked about it before, and everybody always talks about it. Why? What's the problem with black men and Latino women? It just seems like Dominicans, Puerto Ricans don't want black men in their house. Like, why?
I think that it is internalized self-hate. I think is racism. And there is the belief that if you marry somebody white or you mate with somebody white, have children with something white, this is what we've been told. Mm-hmm. You're taking the race forward because everybody is aspiring to be white. Not everybody, but that's what the aspiration is. We got to get to the whiteness. That's how immigrants identify that as upward mobility, and to get the pressure off of them for being bullied, for being people of color. So,
who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave
you? Well, it's actually as everything else that hurts black people and dark skin, the darker you get, that hurts them too. And a lot of that comes from religion, because Catholicism has a lot to do. It's white supremacy's cousin, so it's a lot of that religious stuff. Why they're pro-life and they don't believe in gay marriage, but they just doing what the master taught them to do.
Those who think that race mixing with Spaniards,
aquellos que piensan que mezclarse con españoles
or white Americans,
o blancos,
and think that race mixing
y piensan que el mezclarse con otras razas
is to better the race,
es mejorar la raza de usted.
You will not inherit the kingdom of heaven.
Usted no va a heredar el reino de los cielos así.
Unless you repent.
A menos que te arrepientas.
This thinking
tipo de pensar
is because self-hatred
es lo que ha traído odiarse uno mismo.
Amongst many Afro-Latinos today.
Entre medio de muchos de los latinos, de los afro-latinos que hay en Latinoamérica, ha traído un problema de odiar la misma piel de uno.
I grew up being embraced by African Americans and then being treated like low man on the totem pole by a lot, not all, Puerto Ricans. And it did nudge me in the direction of identifying with black and being black more than being Puerto Rican.
How do you feel about, the black people who don't want to have anything to do with the Caribbean and, Latinos trying to give reparations from black people? Spain owes us reparations. We don't need American black people's reparations because France owes Haiti reparations and the Dutch owe reparations. So I know I came here to be funny, or supposedly, but this is like
this is the side of you I love.
This is the comedy that lives in me, and that's what the stuff I want to talk about is that I'm not gonna not claim, Puerto Rico, regardless of what the colonizer called it, because my ancestors built that bitch too. And so I just think that it's important for us to be able to have perspective about the work that was done before us and stop disrespecting our ancestors' work because we see it as weak, as stuff that we would never be able to handle because we can't even handle when somebody tweets us something and tells us to die.
Africans
Los africanos,
and the
los
Taínos,
taínos,
they know nothing of their original
no
language
saben nada de lo que eran ellos antes
and nothing of their culture.
y nada de su cultura.
You fit this prophecy
Ustedes son los que en verdad
because you're the
saben esta
true Hebrew
profecía
Israelite.
porque ustedes son los israelitas.